This is the last fitness video you will ever need to watch, because in this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about how to build an aesthetic body fast. Notice, I didn't say everything there is to know, I said everything you need to know, because there's a lot of useless information on the internet that is preventing you from actually putting the fundamental principles that I'm going to teach you in this video into practice. Now, before I get into this video, make sure that you stay tuned to the end of the video, because at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a workout routine that will help you build an aesthetic body as quickly as humanly possible. That said, the first thing you need to know about building an aesthetic physique is compound movements. What are compound movements? Compound movements are any movement that involve multiple joints and multiple muscle groups, but particularly multiple joints. So for example, a bicep curl only involves bending at the elbows. Therefore, it is not a compound movement. It is an isolation movement, and that is not something that you should be doing. You see the bodybuilders doing bicep curls, that's because for one, it's literally their livelihood to fine-tune their bodies, which I'm going to assume that if you're watching this video, that is not the case for you. But also because they have earned the right to detail themselves in that way. If you can't bench press 225, if you can't do a pull-up, you shouldn't be doing bicep curls. You shouldn't be doing isolation exercises. Point blank period. Do compound movements. What are the compound movements? Compound movements are squats, deadlifts, overhead press, barbell rows, bench press, pull-ups, dips, etc. Anything that involves multiple joints. So with a pull-up, for example, you're working your bicep and you're bending at the elbow, just like you would with the bicep curl, but you're also bending at the shoulder and you're working your back and the back of your shoulder as well. The cool thing about compound movements is that they are very, very efficient. So in other words, you're able to work out multiple muscle groups at a time, and assuming that you don't want to make fitness the central focus of your life, you need to be as efficient as possible. Because ultimately, if you're not efficient, you're not going to see results. And if you don't see results, you're going to get demotivated and you're going to stop going to the gym. You're going to stop working out. So you want to be as efficient as possible, and compound movements are pretty much the only way to do that. Do compound movements. And again, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you my personal workout routine that helped me build the body that I have now. But understand that the reason why it is the way that it is, the reason why there's only a few exercises there, is because when you have compound movement based workouts, you don't need a lot of different exercises to hit your whole entire body. So keep that in mind. Compound movements are all you're going to do. You're not going to go to the gym and do calf raises. You're not going to go to the gym and do barbell bicep curls or anything else that only involves bending one joint. Point blank period. Compound movements. So optimize for efficiency, and on top of that, compound movements also allow you to lift more weight. When you lift more weight, your body has more of a reason to build muscle. Ultimately, your body only builds muscle, which is what you want your body to do if you're watching this video. Your body only builds muscle if you subject it to resistance. And of course, the most efficient way to do that is by moving weight or your body through space. Or better yet, moving your body and added weight, which you will see in the workout routine that I'll show you later in this video, through space. And when you do that enough, you will build muscle. The more weight you move through more space, the more muscle you will build. Therefore, compound movements are simply superior to isolation exercises, and you should only do compound movements. Now, compound movements are very effective, but they're only as effective as the progressive overload that you pair with the compound movements. What is progressive overload? Progressive overload is you continuously increasing the resistance. Notice I didn't say increasing the weight, I said increasing the resistance. So for example, if you don't have access to a gym with weights and you can only do pull-ups and dips, which by the way is perfectly fine for building muscle, what you need to do is you need to either do different variations. So for example, maybe transition into doing one arm pull-ups, or you can simply do more pull-ups, or you can do them slower. But all that matters is that you subject your body to an increased amount of resistance over time. So what does this look like in practice? If I'm looking to build muscle, if I'm in a period of bulking and not maintenance like I am in right now, I'm going to increase the weight by 5 pounds every other week. 5 pounds every other week, that is all it takes. I maintain the same number of reps, the same number of sets, and I increase the weight by 5 pounds every other week. And when I do that, I build muscle. Why? Because I'm telling my body that I'm going to be taking on a bigger challenge, and my body is going to adapt accordingly. That is how we as humans have been able to survive for so long. From a scientific standpoint, is because we adapt to our circumstances. And so all you're doing when you work out is you are leveraging the fact that your body adapts to its circumstances in a very specific, targeted way. And you do that via progressive overload. Now, you can build muscle with isolation exercises if you're implementing progressive overload. However, you won't be able to implement progressive overload as frequently because you're using isolated muscle groups that cannot move as much weight in general. So whenever you use compound movements plus progressive overload, you're able to increase the weight and move more weight through more space faster. Thus, you build muscle as quickly as humanly possible. Listen, tricking your muscles and all of these different things that these fitness gurus tell you, that is a scam. Those are all scams. You don't need to trick your muscles. The only tricking of the muscles that you need to incorporate is progressive overload, because your body doesn't care what angle you hit your muscles from or anything like that. It cares about the level of resistance that it faces, and it will adapt to the level of resistance that you place it under. Therefore, progressive overload is pretty much the only form of trickery that you need to incorporate into your workout routine. Speaking of workout routines, what is the workout routine that got me to the body that I have right now? Well, it's very simple. There are actually only 4 exercises involved. I know, crazy. And the cool thing is that if you implement supersets, which means that you do 2 of these exercises one after another without any rest in between, you can get in the gym, do this workout, and get out in as little as 30 minutes. As little as 30 minutes to build your dream body, to build an aesthetic body before summer. So my workout routine is as follows: 5 sets of 10 pull-ups or chin-ups, 5 sets of 10 dips, 5 sets of 10 squats, and 5 sets of 10 overhead press.